I, 31M, used to believe that love was supposed to feel loud. Dramatic, like something that knocked the wind out of you and demanded your attention. Every story I had grown up with made it seem that way. Big moments, big gestures, big pain. So when my life stayed quiet for a long time, I assumed I was missing something important. I wasn't unhappy, just disconnected, like I was watching my own life from a step behind the glass. Then I met her. There was nothing cinematic about it. No dramatic introduction, no instant realization that this was it. We just started talking, the way people do when there is no pressure to impress. She laughed easily. Not loudly, not nervously, just honestly. The kind of laugh that made you feel like you had said something worthwhile even if it was simple. We didn't rush anything. We didn't label anything. We spent time together in small ways. Long conversations that wandered into unexpected places. Comfortable silences that did not feel awkward. Moments where I realized I had stopped checking my phone or thinking about what came next. I noticed her presence before I noticed my feelings. She made ordinary days feel fuller. Not exciting in a dramatic sense, but grounded. Real. When something good happened, she was the person I wanted to tell. When something went wrong, she was the person who made it feel survivable without trying to fix it. Slowly, I began to understand something about myself. I had spent years chasing intensity, mistaking anxiety for passion and unpredictability for depth. With her, there was none of that. What I felt instead was safety. And at first, that scared me. I worried that comfort meant boredom. That ease meant lack of chemistry. I had been taught to expect love to hurt at least a little. But it didn't. One evening, we were sitting together, talking about nothing important. The conversation drifted, the way it always did, until it landed on the past. She shared things she had never told many people. Moments that shaped her, choices she questioned, losses she still carried quietly. I listened, fully, without planning what I would say next. When it was my turn, I surprised myself by being honest. About my fear of standing still. About the pressure I put on myself to be more, faster. About the quiet shame of feeling like I was behind everyone else. She didn't rush to reassure me. She didn't minimize it. She just said she understood. That was the moment it changed for me. Not because she said the perfect thing, but because she made space for the truth. For mine. And I realized I had never felt more seen by another person. From then on, things deepened naturally. We learned each other's rhythms. How we handled stress. How we needed support. How we argued without tearing each other down. We made mistakes, small ones, but we owned them. Apologized. Adjusted. Love, I learned, was not about avoiding conflict. It was about choosing repair. There were days when life felt heavy. Work pressures. Uncertainty. The quiet fear of the future creeping in late at night. But even on those days, there was an underlying steadiness. A sense that I was not facing it alone. She never asked me to be someone else. Never tried to reshape me into her idea of what I should be. And because of that, I wanted to grow. Not out of fear of losing her, but out of respect for what we were building. I became more patient, more present, more willing to sit with discomfort instead of running from it. I stopped measuring my life against timelines that were not mine. At some point, without any big announcement, I realized I was home. Not in a place, but in a person. The future still scared me sometimes. Commitment always does when you care deeply. But the fear was different now. It was not paralyzing. It was a reminder that what I had mattered. One night, much later, we talked about the long term. About what we wanted, what we were afraid of, what we hoped to grow into together. There was no promise of perfection. Just a mutual understanding that we were choosing each other with intention. I told her something I had never said out loud before. That I used to think love was something that happened to you. Something you fell into accidentally. Now I knew it was something you built. Carefully. Daily. With honesty and effort and forgiveness. She smiled and said that sounded right. Looking back, I realize I was never late to my life. I was just learning how to arrive properly. Learning how to recognize something real when it appeared quietly instead of shouting. Love did not come with fireworks or chaos. It came with consistency. With laughter that felt like relief. With conversations that stretched long into the night. With the feeling that even on the hardest days, there was someone beside me who was choosing me just as deliberately as I was choosing her. And that, I learned, was the kind of love that lasts.